So back in 2019, Warframe was at peak hype, right? TennoCon that year showed off some footage of things to come, things that made people very, very excited. Duviri Paradox and Railjack blew the roof off the convention centre. The crowd at TennoCon went mad. There was poutine fights breaking out all over the place. There was gravy and cheese curds everywhere, followed by the words, sorry eh, someone semi-naked rode a moose bareback through the crowd of cheering Tenno, boobs flapping in the wind, feckin' mayhem, right? Peak excitement for Warframe players. But eventually, everyone calmed down and they managed to get Sheldon off the moose. Railjack would take us to space, and Duviri was and still is a bit of a mystery, even with the lore masters telling us what it is or might be. A new plane of existence for us to explore, a paradox of two Tenno, young and old, existing at the same time across different planes. Basically new shit for us to do. So it's been almost 2 years since we seen that Duviri Paradox sneak peek, right? 2 years. 7th of July 2019, which is a long time to have to wait for something that was shown off. But to recap, during the trailer, this adult-like Tenno is seen walking through a greyed out, weird-looking plane of existence, and in the distance is supposedly the Zaramon 10-0 ship, the Orokin ship that got lost in a void accident. We seen the robot-like horse, the Dax-like soldier that was on its back, and a ghost-like version of what might be the Tenno's younger self dropping a tigress into a hole. So it was all very interesting. It was all very different to what we were used to at Warframe. Possibly another big cinematic quest for us to enjoy as well. But with TennoCon now right around the corner in 2021, I've had a lot of comments from players who think we're about to see more Duviri reveals, that it may be imminent or it may be what we see at this year's TennoCon, which would be really cool but highly unlikely. I can see why some might think that it's on the way, considering the introduction of Void Storms, which may have caused some of the Zaramon 10-0 incident to begin with, and may open up that doorway to the Duviri Paradox. But as much as I want the Duviri update to drop, as you do, 2 months ago this question was put to Rebecca in a GameSpot interview, and her response was pretty clear. It sounds like nothing Duviri is in the works. In fact, it's easier to just let her words do the talking.
Are you excited riding alien horses? Well, the 2019 Duviri Paradox trailer showed probably the most insane horse design in a video game. Maybe not the most insane, but pretty close to like, oh my god, what is this horse? I am excited, but I'll be real with you. We really don't have a lot to say about this, especially not anytime soon. So set your expectations accordingly for a lot more silence on this topic.
Now, I know when it comes to this interview, I'm a little bit behind the times. I have spent the last few months getting my health and fitness back to normal. That's why the videos have slowed down, and that's why the videos are now starting to speed up again, because I am back to normal. So there you have it. They have nothing to say about Duviri right now, and to set your expectations accordingly for a lot more silence on this topic. So either this is the biggest curveball that has ever been thrown by DE, and are trying to keep it all quiet for a TennoCon spectacle, which is wishful thinking, or they've not done anything on Duviri and it's not really being developed, which I'm going to lean more towards. They have spent the last 2 years trying to get Railjack into a more enjoyable state, and it was shown off at the same time as Duviri, and we were told back then that Duviri was a very early concept. Now, Duviri is also more than likely, like I said, a cinematic quest, and with Ontario in Canada being on lockdown for such a long time, where Digital Extremes are stationed, everyone there is having to work from home, and no one is being able to get or use the mocap studio until recently. It would point more towards no Duviri at this year's TennoCon, because they're probably focusing on some of the Lotus stuff or the new war. But I'd love to think I'm wrong. I'd love to think that there is some kind of secret going to be shown at TennoCon, and normally there is secrets shown off. Duviri is probably a year or more away, or it may have been scrapped. We don't know. Maybe TennoCon will shed some light on it, or maybe it won't. This year's TennoCon is more than likely going to start to bring about the end to the Lotus story arc, and the fact that she's been missing for about 4 years. The game's 8 years old, and Lotus has been gone for smokes for about half of it. So Ballas, Sentience, and the new war is more than likely what this year is going to be all about in relation to TennoCon, and then the content that's going to drop after TennoCon for the rest of the year. They did also mention at the start of the year that they would no longer be showing off content months or years in advance to kind of, I guess, rein that hype in, and they only wanted to focus on imminent updates, which would also cross Duviri out. So again, I guess keep your expectations low when it comes to any kind of Duviri reveal at this year's TennoCon. It does also make me wonder if they're ever going to use that sleeping orb mother in Orvalis. Possibly not. Share your thoughts on Duviri, and as always, thanks for watching.